Well, hello everyone. I'm Maritza Barone and welcome to my podcast, Things You Can't Unhear. This is a special episode today as it's our first one where I do not have anyone else on the show, just yours truly. These solo episodes are something that I'll slip in here and there as I feel inspired to share. I've been producing this podcast for about 3 months now, and it's been such a fulfilling and inspiring experience for me to be able to share the stories of people that have educated me over the last couple of years and share topics that I'm really passionate about. We have heard from holistic chiropractors to international spiritual leaders, psychics and intuitive counselors, energy therapists, entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, nutritionists, and so much more, and each one of them so exceptional in their own way. When I set about to research my guest each week, I ensure that I have a short bio to introduce them with, and I notice pretty much each and every time I announce the guests, they are blown away with the introduction they hear about themselves. They always say to me, "Wow, thank you for those words." Or it's something like, "It's surreal to hear myself with that intro." Doesn't matter how long they've been doing what they're doing. And I realize in that moment that they have acknowledged hitting a milestone that they once had only ever imagined. A dream of theirs turned into an idea, and then an idea turned into a goal, and a goal turned into an action, and then a series of action turned it into reality. And over time, they have a cracking bio that they're known for, and they're being interviewed to share their story and their knowledge so that other people can capture the same feeling and the same feeling of success that they have achieved. And the interesting thing is, each time I read out a bio or an intro for my guests, I think, gosh, wow, that is impressive. Imagine having those achievements and being introduced in such a way that people want to model my behaviors and learn from my journey. And it got me thinking about bios. A bio, just a short biographical profile, is something that is used really regularly in my industry, the media industry. People always want to know what you've done in the past, what you've been involved in, your biggest gig, your largest client, your most acknowledged role. So it's something that I'm really familiar with writing about myself, but I've never thought about the bio that I want to read about myself in the future until now. And this is where my brain started ticking. What if we clearly defined our grandest achievements and grandest accomplishments that we anticipate in the future for ourselves in a paragraph? Our future bio, if you will. Every single thing we dreamed of outlined in a couple of sentences that we so far had only ever allowed ourselves to imagine. What would this do for our clarity of direction? What if we then had the courage to create reality of this bio and made sure that everything we did in the next 1 to 3 years was aligned to making that become a reality? What if every single decision we made was based on whether it would help us ensure what we had written about ourselves becomes real? From everything, from the food we eat, to the people we surround ourselves with, the companies we do business with, the way we react to problems, the morning routine we have, the books we read, the podcasts we listen to, even the TV programs we watch. You know where I'm going here. You can see the pattern. Every single decision is made with the bigger picture in our minds. Do you think we would achieve it? About 12 months ago, I'll tell you a little story. I spent some time creating something out of planning the end result first. And this podcast is actually the product of that. At the time of putting pen to paper for this plan, I had no idea that the podcast even existed in the planetary universe. And I had no idea that it would be the product to come from it. But it most certainly was, and I have some type of proof. A year ago, I decided to write an affirmation. Now, we can call it an affirmation, or we can call it a plan or a manifesto, or whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I wrote this out. It said, I want to have my own show that allows people to see the world without fear. A show that shines the light on love and gratitude, health and happiness. I also declared that the show would be heard or shown all around the world and would first air on the 19th of a month to allow me a sign to know What I had manifested had come true. I wrote this manifesto over 30 days in my notebook. Each day I wrote it slowly and I felt what it would be like to have it become real. I noticed as I was approaching the 30-day mark that there were exactly 30 pages in the notepad that I had started writing in. And that was the number of days I decided to write this affirmation from the beginning. Perhaps a coincidence, but I don't believe in those, so it wasn't that. Once the 30 days were over, I put the notebook away and I didn't think of it again. And it was about 6 months down the track and a couple of weeks into my podcast being created. I went back and opened the notebook to see what I'd written because I had completely forgotten. When I was reading it, I realized, hang on a minute, this could perhaps be my podcast. That was the show I was manifesting in the notebook. As I read on, I noticed this section stating this show would air on the 19th of a month. So, of course, I frantically ran over to my computer to see the date my first podcast show aired. And it was the 20th of March. Pretty close, but not close enough for me. I really like crystal clear signs. And then later on, I was going through some emails and I thought, I'll just check the first day the approval went through for my podcast and it began being hosted on the platform. And sure enough, it was the 19th of March. I shook my head, absolute disbelief, but also with a deep sense of gratitude that this stuff works. And I just received a massive nod from the universe saying, hey, thanks for the clarity, girl. Here's a delivery of what you asked for. Thanks for being crystal clear. So now I'm working on the next installment. And I thought I'd invite you to do it with me. I've decided to write my own future bio over the next 30 days. First of all, we need to spend some quality time crafting a few sentences of how we want to be introduced within the next 1 to 3 years. Got to give the universe a little bit of time to put this together. Don't overthink it though. Just write what comes and feels naturally from your deepest heart's desire. And think big. Then write it in a notepad for 30 days straight. And as you're writing it, really feel it. Visualize it. Almost be able to touch it and smell it. And live it. And most importantly, believe it. Read it out loud every day to yourself in the mirror after you've written it. And really start to believe it. And once the 30 days are over, put it away. But also ensure that every action and decision you take from this day on for the next 12 months is working towards that bio becoming a reality. Every single decision and every single action. Abraham Hicks once famously quoted, "Did you know that 30 days of feeling wonderful is all you need to manifest the biggest dreams you ever had?" Pretty damn exciting, right? Now go out there and grab what you desire. Those things in life that you have only ever dreamt of. It can be real. It doesn't have to just be a dream. And make sure you share your journey with me, because don't forget, I'm doing this with you. These whole 30 days, I'm with you side by side, manifesting my own future bio. So I can't wait to see what happens, and I can't wait to see what you feel after just writing it down in front of you and seeing it on pen and paper. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know what you felt. Let me know what you came up with. It's Maritza_Barone. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to share this with you. Be happy, be healthy, be conscious, and be kind. And don't forget to subscribe to Things You Can't Unhear, because we have some incredible and amazing guests on the way.